The preterite allows you to put the past behind you. It describes a completed action in the past. There is another past tense that we'll discuss later that's for other uses. That is called the imperfect past tense. Forming the preterite with regular verbs is simple. You drop the infinitive ending and you add the preterite endings to the stem. In your packet, the second page has the verb endings for page 1. Begin by copying them over. Otherwise, it is a duplicate of the first page. Okay, assuming you've done that, let's go ahead and look at the packet. Let's look at the regular preterite tense endings for AR verbs. First, on the singular side, E with an accent, aste, and O with an accent. On the plural side, amos, astes, and aron, A-R-O-N. Notice that the nosotros ending is the same in both the present and the preterite tense. This means that you need to use context clues to determine which tense is being used when you read or hear a verb that ends in amos. Okay, using that chart, try to answer the remaining questions on this page. I'm going to give you an answer for the first item so you know what your sentences should look like. So, writing the meaning of these sentences in English. The first sentence is hablé con mi amigo. The translation to English would be I spoke or I talked with my friend. We'll check over your other answers tomorrow in class. All right, moving along. Notice that the endings of the verbs tell you who did the action and that the action was done in the past. The stem, the first, the underlined part of the verb, tells you what the person did. Okay, here's another set of sentences. We ask you to conjugate these verbs using the verb chart. So she talked would be, that's right, it's habló, H-A-B-L-O with an accent, H-A-B-L-O con acento. Okay. Now, skipping over page 2, because that was just to hide the forms from you, so you'd have to copy them over. Read the story at the top of page 3 of the packet and underline all the verbs that are conjugated in the preterite tense. Here's a clue. There are a total of 12 preterite forms used in the story. Okay. You can use the conjugation chart to help you identify the forms. Next step. Sort the underlined verbs by subject. You don't need to list them more than one time. If they appear more than one time, you don't need to list duplicates. So for example, you would put caminé next to yo. See what el, ella, and usted forms, what nosotros forms, what ellos forms, and of course what yo forms you find in the story. Finally, rewrite the story in the present tense. For your convenience, the verb endings for regular AR verbs in the present tense are in a box to the right of the blank space where we're asking you to write. Obviously, eliminate time expressions like yesterday, last week, last weekend, because you're no longer writing in the present tense. You're no longer writing in the past tense. You're writing in the present tense. Thank you.